Am I the astronaut for not answering the door when my ex's mom showed up at my apartment unannounced? This happened a couple of years ago, but I was talking about crazy mother-in-law stories with a friend, and she thinks I was an asshole. I have sole custody of my children. My ex and his family live about a 9-hour drive from me. One day at around 9 a.m., there was knocking on my bedroom window. I peek through the bottom of the blinds and see women's sneakers. So I peek higher and make eye contact with my ex's mom. All I can think is, what the The apartments where I live are not gated, so anyone can drive onto the property, just not go in buildings without a key, which means ex's mom couldn't knock on my door because she couldn't enter my building. Anyway, now that she's seen me, I change and I go see why she's there. Only reason why she has my address is because a few months back, she asked to mail some stuff for the kids and I stupidly gave her my address. She tells me she was in the neighborhood. I asked her why she didn't call me before arriving and she said it was a last-minute decision. I let her in and she sees the kids for a bit. When she leaves, I tell her next time she needs to give me a heads up before arriving, and I'm not talking 10 minutes. I need at least a week notice. So this is where I might be an asshole. About 4 months later, she pulls this stunt again. When I hear the tapping on my window, I know exactly who it is. I don't bother looking out the window. She starts calling me. After the 5th call, I answer. She tells me to open up because she wants to see the kids. I'm like, what? I'm not even home. Why didn't she tell me she was coming? I'm 45 minutes away visiting my dad with the kids. She demands dad's address. I refuse to give it to her. I tell her I have no idea when I will be home. Yes, a complete lie. Anyway, she doesn't believe me. She thinks I'm home. Again, says it was a last-minute decision. I hang up on her. I'm getting text from ex demanding I let his mom see the kids. I told him what I told her. I'm not home. Imagine my surprise when I hear the police banging on my door a few minutes later. I don't answer. Hold on. I get a call from a random number, the police officer. He's there to perform a wellness check because my ex's mom hasn't heard from me in 3 days and she's extremely worried. Also, according to him, it is illegal to not answer the door when a police officer knocks. I tell him she's lying. I just spoke to her on the phone. She showed up unannounced. I made it clear to her not to do that, and I am out with my family, and I don't need to come back just because she showed up unannounced. She is my ex's mom, and I don't have to talk to her. After that phone call, I got a text from my ex calling me an asshole, and how hard would it have been to let his mom see the kids when she drove all the way there just to see them? I want to make it clear, I don't mind her visiting, I don't mind her being around my kids, but I can't stand her showing up unannounced and demanding to see my kids like that. It was like she was on a weird power trip. Okay, there it is. I still absolutely stick with NTA. The one part 100%. Of this you left out, and I think you should have included, when you gave her instructions, you said, next time I need a week's notice, right? There was no, or I'm not answering the door.
I think it's implied.
It is implied, but because there wasn't one, she took it and ran with it. She's like, what's she going to do?
Not answer the door, bitch.
That's what my point is, though. It's like there's no what's she gonna do question to be asked whenever you pre-answer that question with the consequence part of an actual boundary. You told her your wishes, and yeah, she's wrong. Mother-in-law's wrong. Mother-in-law's batshit crazy for showing up. Also, your ex, who has nothing to do with the kids,
is let my mom in
and acting like he's got some kind of authority when it comes to letting his mom see the kids. Dude, if this motherfucker texted me and was like, you're an asshole for not letting my mom see the kids, I'd be like, bitch, you haven't seen your kids in 9 years, so off.
I feel like she did a good job enforcing the boundary because the answer was no, a week's notice or the door doesn't open. And she figured that out the hard way because she drove 9 hours. One time in that whole 9-hour drive, you couldn't hit the little call button in your car and be like, do. Hey, is it okay if I come see the kids? And that's not even a week notice. That's 9 hours, but still, like, what? There's no one just gets in their car on a whim and drives 9 hours. Like, that's a plan.
Yeah. Also, I think you have enough for an RO now.